In the meantime, let's bring in our friend Piers Morgan, host of Piers Morgan Uncensored on Fox Nation. Good morning to you, Piers.
Daisy, I want to know your jet lag secret. How can you fly across the Atlantic, then fly all the way back, having done a whole day of corresponding on a coronation, and look as sprightly as you do
You're
today?
You're so sweet. I was a little worried. I took my daughter with me, and so she has school this morning. So I was a little concerned about how it was going to affect her, but we slept on the plane. We stayed in pajamas all day. We did church on the computer, and we just kind of took it easy. So I think we're okay.
Amazing. Well, it was an amazing day, wasn't it? I mean, we've covered now 3 in a year. You know, the Jubilee, and then, of course, the death of the Queen, now the coronation of a new monarch. These things haven't happened in my lifetime. So it was an amazing honor, and to have you and Martha there with me and the whole Fox team, it was really a great privilege. It
was such an honor to be asked to go and do that and host with you. You are just a wealth of information. You grew up there. This is your country, and you know, I just really thoroughly enjoyed it, and thank our bosses for sending me, because it's something that's historic that I'll never forget.
Coverage was excellent. You did a really good job, and Ainsley did carry you, Piers, just like you projected. And you do owe her a lot, as well as Martha was brilliant. So I just got to ask you, what are your thoughts, looking from where you're looking, knowing our country the way you see it, when Bill Melugin puts up our drone video of the amount of people lining up to come in? Does any sovereign country ever going to exist when they let millions in without knowing who they are or what they're up to?
It's completely insane. And, you know, I remember all the furore about this with Donald Trump and his efforts to try and put some kind of curb on what's going on this border. And he was vilified as being a racist, an anti-American, and a bigot, and so on. But frankly, is this the option, that you just effectively have an open border? Because if you do, then America's heading to a very dark place. You just can't do this. We have a problem on our borders in this country, but it involves tens of thousands of people per year coming over on boats, migrants, some of whom are legitimate asylum seekers, many of whom are just trying their luck. But the scale of what's going on your southern border is frankly pretty terrifying. And the idea that Joe Biden, who's been a politician for 5, 6 decades now, doesn't think this is a real emergency and crisis is also terrifying.
Well, let's see what happens as of Thursday midnight. Piers, in the meantime, I want to pick your brain about this. I know you've weighed in on this. We've got a soundbite from Fox News Digital of former collegiate swimmer Riley Gaines. And she has, you know, she is out in the forefront right now saying that women should only compete against biological women. Otherwise, it's never going to be fair. It's time for boycotts. Here's Riley. Listen to this, Piers.
It's a matter of how many girls have to be injured playing against a male, how many girls have to lose out on scholarships and trophies and titles, how many girls have to feel violated in the locker room. So I believe it will get worse before it gets better, unfortunately, unless we have more women willing to boycott. We have girls who the whistle blows and they don't run, they don't swim, they stand up on the block and they don't go. It's unfortunate, of course, to ask women to make that sacrifice, because these are their sports. They should be entitled to playing. They shouldn't have to give up anything to want changes and to get changes.
So is that a good idea, just to boycott rather than compete against a biological male who's competing in a female sport?
Yeah, I think it is, because what else can you do? As more and more trans athletes at the elite end of sport in America and around the world, we're having the same issue here, as they compete against biological females, when they're biological males, it is demonstrably unfair. It is unjust. It is unequal. If I would go further, I think it's now cheating. If this was doping we were talking about, people would take action very, very quickly, as they have done in the past. But it is cheating to be a biological male who then transitions, and I have absolute respect for people that want to do that. Nothing to do with their personal sexuality or dysphoria, whatever it may be. This is a pure issue of biological fact. If you are born a biological male, you have an immediate physical advantage post-puberty over a biological female. And what we're seeing now is the desecration of women's rights to fairness and justice in sport, and in question of safety, in a question of, you know, I saw what she said about Leah Thomas coming into the women's dressing rooms and so on. This is not right. And I heard you, Brian, earlier just saying that we all know it's not right. I honestly think 99% of the population know this is inherently wrong. So if it takes a boycott to really snap people's brains into gear and do something about this, and to go to one of two places, in my view, either you have trans athletes who compete against their biological sex. So you would have trans women competing against men, which is what many of them used to do, often, I have to say, far less successfully and far less lucratively, or you create an entirely new category for trans athletes, recognizing there are many more of them now heading towards the elite level. But this cannot go on. This is about women's rights, and it needs more women to stand up like this gutsy Riley Gaines and say enough. And if it takes a boycott to do it, I'll cheer them on.
Right after the coronation, the king and queen had a little gathering for just a private lunch for their family. Harry, nowhere to be seen. He got on a plane, commercial plane, and went back for his son's birthday in California. But when the king gave a toast, made his toast, he said, he seemed, disappointed. He said, wherever you are, talking to his grandson, I wish you a happy 4th birthday, and did a little toast to Archie. What's your reaction to that?
You know what? Harry has discovered the hard way that he's now completely irrelevant. When there was that great balcony scene with the new king and queen taking the cheers of millions of people, he was gone. He was gone straight into a car, straight to the airport, supposedly back to his 4-year-old son's birthday party. He wouldn't have got home much before 10 o'clock at night. I've got 3 sons on their 4th birthday parties, trust me. They're all asleep a lot at 10 o'clock. This has never been about little Archie's birthday party. This has been about Harry wanting it all to be about him, as he and his wife specialize in. Before, during, and after the coronation, it was all will or won't they come, how will they behave, where will they sit, and so on. Nobody cares. Their poll ratings are disintegrating as fast as Prince Andrew's, who was also in row 3, or Royal Siberia, as we call it. And that's for a reason. The public have had enough of their stupid games. And over the last 2 days, we saw the real royals, Charles, Camilla, and William and his wife, Kate, and their beautiful children, take center stage and remind people that when I say real royals, this is the future of the monarchy. The current king, as of Saturday, and his son and heir, and then his son and heir. That is where the national focus now is. That's where the global focus now is. And Harry, I'm afraid, has now discovered, like I say, the hard way, that if you trash your family and the monarchy repeatedly for years on end in books and Netflix series and podcasts and all the rest of it, and your wife joins in as well, then eventually there's going to be a day of reckoning. And that day of reckoning came on Saturday in Westminster Abbey.
Yeah, but
nobody cared.
Last night they had the big concert, and I watched it, and it was really cute. You could see that all the festivities were over. They were there to have fun. The whole family was excited. Little Charlotte was singing with Katy Perry, and Charles got on stage and he honored his dad. I'm sorry, not Charles, William, and he honors his dad, and he said, I'm going to make this quick. I'm not going to do what Lionel Richie does. I'm not going to sing all night long. And the crowd went crazy, and they all laughed. It was great. Y'all put on such an amazing performances.
Yeah, it was great, but also that speech I thought was really significant. I've not seen William make such a good speech probably ever. And what I love was the warmth he showed to his father, the loyalty, which of course followed what happened in the Abbey, where as the Prince of Wales, he knelt before his king and his father, and then he stepped forward and kissed him. And you saw Charles clearly very moved and saying, thank you, William. And I loved that. And I loved the speech because he also nailed this lie that the royal family are a bunch of callous racists. They're not. They're kind, caring people, incredibly tolerant, and at the head of one of the most multicultural places on earth. And that, again, was a little rebuke, I think, to a little brother over in California that actually, you can trash us, but this is the real thing.
And they have one more thing to do, is once and for all, knight Piers Morgan, make you an official knight. I want this to happen.
Sir Piers, because as I've always said, the biggest mistake your country made was kicking us out. George III, I know he went mad, but if it hadn't been for that, you'd still have a monarchy, and I would have a tiny chance of being King Piers of the United States of America. And I know you would have loved that.
Yeah, and we be your subject.
Can I be your queen? I've always wanted to live in a castle and be a queen.
The only place
propose to him?
The only place you will be king is on Fox Nation. You've got shows, Piers Morgan Uncensored, every weeknight at 4:30. Sir, thank you very much for joining us live.
Thanks, Piers. Always great to see you. I had fun with you this weekend. Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.